There's no doubt that soul food has had an influence on American cuisine. When slaves were forced into the New World, they brought their ingenuity, their inspiration, and their influence along with them. Their courage is something that we still marvel at hundreds of years later. In this series, we will explore all avenues of soul food. Some traditional, a couple of key ingredients, and this comes out tasting fantastic. And we will definitely borrow inspiration from other cultures. This is really, really good. Really. And the oven does all the work, literally. Pack your book bag, grab your notebook, and get ready for a ride to one of my favorite educational institutions, Soul Food University. There was something about home-cooked meals that just seemed to unite us all. So what is soul food? There's so many different definitions and interpretations about the idea. But for me, the first ingredient is always love. It's the ingenuity that she possessed that helps me appreciate her incessant need to ensure sustainability. There was something about home-cooked meals that just seemed to unite us all. So what is soul food? There's so many different definitions and interpretations about the idea. But for me, the first ingredient is always love. It's the food that connects different bodies to familiar souls. It's the food that with each bite sustains, with each swallow nourishes. And with each meal, you understood more and more how the heart and the hands connect. It's as if soul food is more about nourishment for the heart, just as it is nourishment for the body. Pork chops, usually the end cut, were on our family table at least once a week. Center cut pork chops had a hefty price tag, but their younger sibling, end cut pork chops, were much more affordable. Simply seasoned, the key is to make sure you get all the seasonings in the nooks and the crannies. There's no secret that that's the first ingredient, kosher salt. It helps balance and elevate all the other flavors. In this case, it's black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and a touch of dried fennel. I'll let the pork chops sit in the dry rub that really acts as a marinade until I'm ready to fry them. This process could also be done a day or two before. The longer the pork chop sits in the marinade, the better they taste. The oven, it does all the work for the sweet potatoes. I'll wrap potatoes in foil and roast them in the oven. It's usually 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, and the sweet potatoes should be fork tender. I'll remove the tough skin, which is much easier to do when the potatoes are hot. Then, the seasonings. There's salt, a touch of pepper, sugar, and then to make them creamy, heavy cream, butter, and mascarpone cheese. Mix all the ingredients together, and the finished product is a side dish that's ready for the main stage. The potatoes will be super creamy, while that little touch of sugar brings out the needed sweetness of sweet potato. There's nothing more satisfying than broccoli and cheese. Mixed with cooked rice, a few seasonings, and a creamy base, it really is the most satisfying forkful you will ever have. I'll start by making a quick white sauce. Butter and flour get melted and then whisked together. Then I'll add half and half, and I'll season the base with pepper, salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. I'll mix that with cooked rice, cheese, and fresh broccoli. The entire dish goes into the oven and bakes up into a creamy, cheesy deliciousness. It's like broccoli and cheese soup, but with the volume turned all the way up. It's a great way to enjoy broccoli, and it's also a really great way to get your cheese fix. Perhaps one of the most iconic soul food dishes ever is a pot of green beans and white potatoes. Usually started with a broth made from smoked meat, the dish is downright delicious. I give you those familiar vibes, but with a few twists. Fresh is always best. So the green beans get added to a sheet tray. They're joined with thinly sliced onion and white potatoes. They get roasted until the potatoes are tender and the green beans are slightly charred. I'll toss the whole thing with chopped turkey tails. I'll take smoked turkey tails and just boil them in water until they're fork tender. Then I'll pull off all the meat from the bone and then pan fry the turkey tails just to give them a crisp. For a quick dressing, hot sauce, vinegar, salt, pepper, a little mustard go into a blender. I'll add garlic and a pinch of sugar along with olive oil to make a slightly spicy, slightly sweet vinaigrette that goes perfectly with the roasted green beans. Before we fry the pork chops, I'll add buttermilk and then dredge the pork chops in flour. I'll fry them into a golden brown deliciousness. Two more key secrets. The first is I always drain on paper towels, and the other is as soon as the pork chops come out of the oil, we give them a little sprinkle of salt. That'll give us an extra bump of flavor that will not go unnoticed. I mean, this is the part where all of our hard work comes into play. So I have these amazing whipped potatoes, and they're sweet, super creamy, a little bit of salt, which really helps temper that sweetness and gives it a little savory kick that is out of this world. And two, our broccoli casserole. It's like broccoli and cheese soup on steroids. I mean, it really is good. A couple of key ingredients, and this comes out tasting fantastic. Now, what's really good? The smoked turkey, green beans, and white potatoes. It doesn't get any more classic than this with a hot sauce vinaigrette. This is what you want to eat. This is what you want to eat. It is so good. It's not spicy. It's a nice vinegary kick. It's not spicy, it has a nice kick of vinegar in here, which plays really well with the blank canvas of the green beans. It's so good. And the pork chops fried perfectly. Little salt to finish. Crunchy, moist. This is where it's at. You gotta give it a try. Simple recipes take me right back down memory lane. Something my grandmother would do, but a twist or a spin. This is really, really good. Now the recipes, you can get them by going to the Darius Cooks Plus app. You can download it on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, either one. Please give it a try. You're going to love it. There's two things I want to tell you. It's what I always tell you, right? Food is my life. Life is my food. Until next time, I have to wish you a happy cooking from my heart to yours.